What is going on, traders? Welcome back to the Traveling Trader. I'm here from beautiful Mexico, as you can see. So today I'm going to give you an update on all of the major EV stocks. We're going to be talking Hyliion, Workhorse, NIO, and of course Tesla. And then we'll be going inside to look at the charts on the laptop. It's a lot easier than to do it out here. Plus it's hot as hell. Now there are a lot of updates for each of these individual stocks. Workhorse, for instance, has a potential deal coming up with UPS worth $8.1 billion that will be decided upon as early as Tuesday, October 13th. Workhorse also received an upgrade by BTIG, and with NIO sales continue to rise, and they keep on innovating, implementing such things as battery as a service, where you can literally swap out the battery in your car when it runs out instead of having to charge it and wait while it's charging. Now, NIO recently also got upgrades from Deutsche Bank as well as Credit Suisse, and it is currently trading at all-time highs. So we'll tell you how to trade NIO from this point forward. With Hyliion, as you know, the merger was approved between Shell and Hyliion. The ticker symbol changed, and we saw Hyliion take a dive after the merger was approved. Now, this is something we talked about in a video where I was saying not to buy Hyliion at the time because I felt like that binary event where the ticker symbol was changing, there wasn't anything exciting following that to keep the price running. So what we see with these binary events is after they happen, then sellers start taking profits and the share prices dwindle. This isn't just with mergers, this happens with earnings, etc. Now, Hyliion is in desperate need of positive news. We need to see 1 or 2 contracts in the works being announced. At the moment, the CEO is really being mum about any of its upcoming operations, and we're left in the dark wondering what is in store for Hyliion. Now, once we start looking at the charts, I'll also tell you why I think Hyliion has the potential to go down to around $18 or $19 if we don't get an announcement soon. There's actually a major support level there. And with Tesla, we all know Tesla is Tesla. It has earnings upcoming around October 21st. That is the latest earnings date. And it is yet to see if they'll be included in the S&P 500 towards the end of the year. What the S&P 500 committee want to see is how Tesla's sales do aside from those regulatory credits that it sells to other car companies. Now, I also talked about how to trade Tesla leading into earnings, so we'll go over that a little bit when we look into the charts. But before we do, if you get anything out of this video, go ahead and leave it a big fat thumbs up. Leave it in the comment section below. Let me know which one of these stocks you're already in. And if you want access to our trading group where I send out all of these trades, link is in the description below. It's a great value, so sign up and let's get right into it. All right, guys, back at the computer. So let's start with Workhorse. Looking at the Workhorse chart, you see that it had about a 13% day on Friday. Now, this is probably out of the 4, the one that I'm the most bullish on in the short term, because just to get back to its swing highs, which it saw literally on September 21st, that's a 16% gain. And if we do get an announcement that the UPS deal will go through on October 13th or somewhere shortly thereafter, then I believe that we will undoubtedly see that 16% hit and potentially a new high at that point. So the main question is, can you buy Workhorse from here? Well, you can, but with the caveat that we might dip back down to at least the 50 moving average if the price action continues sideways and we don't get any announcement about the UPS contract. However, if the deal comes back negative, as in the deal's off the table, then I definitely would not want to hold a Workhorse that's tanking, especially below the 50 moving average at around $21 right now. So be wary of that, check the news, and make sure you are up to date on all of the Workhorse news, especially regarding that $8.1 billion deal with UPS. All right, let us move on to NIO. So looking at NIO currently, like I said, is at all-time highs, trading at just under $22. It received a couple of upgrades from some big banks, Deutsche Bank being one of them, Credit Suisse being the other. And as we know, NIO's delivery numbers and sales continue to go up in China, and it has a bright future implementing some of these very innovative technologies such as battery as a service. Now, Yahoo Finance actually did a valuation looking at the fair valuation of NIO using an old tried and true technique that Wall Street used to use and still uses, frankly. But they look at the value of the 10-year cash flow coupled with the terminal value and come up with a formula to evaluate a company. And based on that old school method of valuation, we see that NIO is valued at around $26.67, which is about 20% from where we are currently. Now, NIO's chart doesn't look overextended or anything. As a matter of fact, it looks like a typical growth stock now. Something like Zoom or C Limited, where you have this growth, this constant growth with retracements to the 21 EMA, using that as a bounce point before rallying again. Now, for the last two earnings dates, we have seen price rallies leading into those earnings. And this earnings, I think, will be no different. We could see a price rally to around that $25, $26 point leading into this earnings. Like I said, especially because NIO does not look overextended at the moment. But for the most part, for me, NIO looks like a buy and hold stock for the very long-term future. It's crazy to see that NIO is trading even under $4 just a few months ago. We've been swing trading NIO since January, as you see here in the private trading group. All right, third stock, we'll look at Hyliion. So looking at Hyliion, this one tanked big time after the merger announcement. Now, I did a video on this saying that I expected it to fall after the merger announcement. I didn't think it would fall this far down because I did think that following the merger announcement, the CEO would at least keep us informed of any new deals that they had coming up. Now, if you bought Hyliion somewhere in the $50 or $40 range, then the best you can do really is hold on. Now, Hyliion, there is a lot of hope for them. They do have good fundamentals. There just isn't any exciting announcement at the moment. And because of that, I could see Hyliion falling to the $18 range, $18, $19 range, which is the 200 moving average. If there continues to not be any news, we can certainly see it drop to that level. And that level does represent significant support and resistance as well historically, and where the 200 moving average is. So the CEO better come up with an announcement, or else we could see this thing drop down. And like I said, if you bought at the highs at the $50 or $40 level, then the best you could do is hold and not panic sell. And if you are adept at trading options, you could sell covered calls for sure. You could sell cash covered puts as well on this. So far, it is finding some support here at the 100 moving average, and you could make this one of your first entries if you're not already in it, with the caveat that you would buy some more and average down at the 200 moving average. But I'm not bearish on Hyliion in the same way that I am on something like Nikola, for instance, which just seems dead in the water at the moment. All right, last but not least, let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla is really Tesla. Again, it's a growth stock, just like some of the stocks that I talked about earlier, whether it's Zoom or C Limited, but it's a growth stock that has seen typical retracements at the 21 moving average. However, now this is one of the longest periods of sideways trading for Tesla in the short term, in recent memory. And currently it's making lower highs, and higher lows. So it's converging in sort of this pennant shape, or this symmetrical triangle shape that we see here. And it's really waiting for a couple of things. One, entering to the S&P 500, which might occur before the end of the year. This is just pure speculation. And two, it's waiting for earnings numbers. Now, earnings are coming up on October 21st. And if it reports good earnings numbers, aside from those regulatory credits, we're just talking about car deliveries, then we could see it break out of this back to the $500 level and maybe above. Now, I did send it out in the trade alerts how I was trading Tesla. I did take profits after the date of the split, and I did re-enter when we hit that 50-day moving average. So currently we are up on Tesla, buying it at around the $350, $360 range. And I will continue to advocate buying Tesla at the major moving averages and not somewhere range bound in the middle here, and definitely not at the high. So if you're not in Tesla, my humble opinion would be to wait until one of the major moving averages before getting in. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that EV roundup video. Obviously, there are many more sophisticated trading strategies that one can take, such as selling put credit spreads when the price goes down, or selling call credit spreads when the price goes up, or doing iron condors, or cash covered puts, or covered calls. But all of that is in the trading group below. I send out all of my options and stock trade alerts in the group, so sign up if you want access to that group. Link is in the description. It's a great value. Again, let me know if you're in any one of these stocks. Let me know in the comment section below, and let me know what you want me to cover in future videos. And the person whose comment I picked for the sweepstakes, where I pick one of your comments and I go all in, that person is now up 17% on Workhorse. Speaking of Workhorse, one more thing, follow me on Instagram or YouTube stories if you want to see videos and photos from my travels, if you want to see stories from my travels. Anyway, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Stay safe out there, traders. Peace.